What did you learn about Nebraska football, your first year that maybe you didn't know?
I learned how passionate, but also informed the fan base is. Like, they're gonna watch warm ups. They're gonna stop me on the street and ask me when we're gonna start running counter trap option again. Like they know the game, and it was after coming from pro football, it was really cool to get back in that college environment again.
Yeah. It seems like there's a lot of people, myself included, that feel like, you guys are on the verge of a breakout kind of year. Um, do you feel that, and what needs to happen for that to take place?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a chance to be a really a good team. I mean, we ran a lot of ball games last year, and I think two got away from us, but we lost 5 games, and either by a field goal or one went to overtime. And despite all that, we came back every week. We were minus 17 in the turnover ratio. We did some things that were really bad, yet we still had a chance to win. So I look at it like, hey, we have a pretty good defense, pretty good special teams. We weren't very good on offense last year. If we can just get a little bit better there, then maybe we can. Those close losses will become close wins. And if that happens, our guys will get some confidence and think good things will happen.
You mentioned, I heard you say it earlier, we got to find a way to go from minus 17 to plus 7 on the turnover margin. How do you try to implement that? How do you go about that?
I think the first thing is the team recognizes, hey, this has to happen. Because I think when they start talking in practice, like, hey, hold the football right, or hey, catch the tuck, or hey, punch with the ball on defense, it's coming from them. It starts to happen. I think for us, man, we have to be highly accountable. Sometimes as coaches, you're trying to get the next play run. Balls on the ground. You're like, all right, dude, get back, run the next play, and we're just not going to do that anymore. If we set a goal of plus 7, plus 10, then we have to find a way to hit it, and that means that's the number one thing that we have to coach. And so, but from drills to accountability to holding ourselves accountable, that's the number one thing in the program.
You mentioned the fans and the passion. Almost hard to believe Nebraska hasn't been to a bowl game since 2017, right? They went through a stretch at one point, 35 years in a row, going to a bowl game. How much will that mean to the fan base to kind of start a new streak when it comes to that in the postseason?
I think it'll mean everything. I think there's students that stopped me, and it meant a lot to me last year to try to get them there because I knew what it would do for them. We didn't get it done. We came so close. When we do it, I think it'll just be a relief. It'll be like, just the yoke will be lifted, and I want them to enjoy football. I want them going to the games expecting to win. I want them excited about close games, and I think right now there's such a negative feeling about all of that because of what we've been through, but we can change that.
One great thing you've got coming up, last year you started 0-2, both tough games on the road. You start with, I think, 4 home games in a row, right, this year,
yeah.
and a chance to get back at Colorado, but also to get off to a great start.
Yeah, I probably mismanaged last year, Todd, a little bit. Like, went on the road to Minnesota. It was deafening loud. They had a gold out. Went on the road to Colorado. It was sold out. Being in pro football, it's not quite that loud, and we prepared for it, but didn't. Obviously, I didn't do a good enough job. Started off 0-2, came back, regrouped, and made a little bit of a run. And I'm excited to play that first game at home. There's nothing like football in Lincoln, and to even all the guys that don't get to travel that bust their tail at practice, like they get a chance to suit up and they get a chance to be out there. So I think it'll be a celebration of all the hard work we've done this offseason. We'll play our best. We'll go battle UTEP. As you said, we'll come back. We'll play Colorado. Obviously Coach Sanders brings a lot of excitement to the game. It'll be a national game, night game. Chance for us to show off Lincoln to the world. Northern Iowa, and then come back on a Friday night and play Illinois. To me, I couldn't think of a better way to start.
So a lot of talk, a lot of the buzz around your team this year is about your young quarterback, Dylan Riola, kind of a family name in Nebraska football. Huge recruit. What have you seen from him so far? What is he going to bring to the table?
I think he just has a really great feel for the game. So much of recruiting quarterbacks nowadays, it's all 7-on-7. It's all just arm talent. It's all splash plays. But more than anyone else that it's about making a tough throw on 3rd and 8. It's about getting hit in the ear and coming back and making a play the next play. And I think Dylan's got that feel. He's got that toughness. You know, he's raised around the game. His dad played a long time in the NFL. He loves the preparation process. So, you know, he still has some work to do to prove that, you know, he's the starting quarterback. But I have a lot of confidence in him, and I believe in, you know, when he's playing, I believe that he's going to move the team.
Your defense last year was outstanding. Tony White, you know, one of the hot commodities. You know, you got him for another year. You may not have him for more than that. But expectations still very high for your defense this year, I assume.
Yeah, Tony does a great job, and we return Tony. Plus, we also return you know, a lot of our really good players.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the guys who made those plays, and so I want to see them take the next step. Like, I want to see them score on defense. I want to see them take the ball away more than 14 times. I want to see them, you know, just suffocate people and get the offense good field position. When you have a struggling offense, you know, you love to have a defense that turns the ball and takes it away, and that's something we didn't do last year, and I think that's been Tony's focus this year.
Speaking of your coaching staff, a couple changes, a couple additions to your staff. Talk about the new guys that you've brought onto your staff this year.
Yeah, you know, we brought in John Butler to be our secondary coach. You know, obviously was the defensive coordinator at Penn State. Spent the last 10 years in the NFL. Really in Buffalo, had one of the best pass defenses. So, a guy that I trust to take our defensive, you know, as good as we were on defense, to take our secondary play to the next level. Brought in Glenn Thomas to be our quarterback coach, and Glenn was my quarterback coach and coordinator at Temple, at Baylor. You know, we played young players there, and P.J. Walker and Charlie Brewer, and he helped them. And so bringing him back to help in this process with our quarterback play, I'm fired up about. And with the new analyst rule, we've been able to bring in some other young guys. You know that, you know, maybe their role's limited, but they can help our players. And I think every great player deserves a great coach. We've tried to do that for them.
You know, one of the things, and there's a lot of changes with college football, you know, over the last few years, and one of the things that's being talked about, they haven't settled on a number yet, is roster limits. Some programs that maybe not a big deal, but Nebraska's always been one of those teams that has had 140, 150 guys on the team. The walk-on program was always huge. How does that impact, and what are your feelings about that?
Oh, it's going to impact us a ton. You know, we have almost 150 guys on the team right now. You know, because we're blessed. We have guys that, you know, live their whole life wanting to be a Husker.
Yeah.
And those are the guys that bring character to that locker room, to that weight room, and to that practice field. And they wait for the day they get to run down on a kickoff. And for some guys, they turn into NFL players. So I'd hate to see that taken away from us. You know, we'll do the best we can to continue to honor that. But, you know, football changes, the rules change, and you just have to adapt with them.
Yeah. How about, and I haven't asked too many guys this, but just another thing that's different from when you were in college, before you know go to the NFL, and now you're back in college, the whole NIL world in college football. How is that coming along and developing at Nebraska and in Lincoln for you guys?
I think we do a really good job at it. You know, we're not the best. You know, I tell people all the time, hey, we're doing a great job. We have some room to go though to catch some of the elite teams, but you know, a lot's going to change now with revenue sharing coming in. You know, we have a great budget. You know, we have a great athletic director in Troy Dannon. I think we'll find a way to be relevant no matter what the rules are.
Back in college football now, what have you found to be more challenging and more difficult about coaching college football today?
I think the big thing is just the roster turnover. You know, I really like that's why I didn't like the NFL as much. I love get a guy as a freshman, watch him grow, help him through the hard times, give him confidence when he needs it, give him a kick in the pants when he needs it, and watch all of a sudden you wake up one day and you got a bunch of grown men out there playing for you. And, you know, seeing guys play for us and go somewhere else, or a guy somewhere else plays for us, that's a challenge. It's not maybe as fulfilling for me, but if it's in the player's best interest, then I understand it, and we'll do the best we have with the guys with the time that we have them for.
Yeah. Couple of guys that really stood out to me watching your team last year, those two interior defensive tackles you have. Talk about those guys and what they mean to your team.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're the heart and soul of our team. You know, Nash, I mean, he finished football season, went right in and lost 40 pounds and wrestled. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. He's physical, he's tough. Ty Robinson, who's, you know, here at Media Day today, he's an explosive, athletic player. So they hold themselves to a high standard. They work hard. They're not afraid to be vocal, but they also are great teammates. And they're dominant players. and really the strength of our team.
So I know you're kind of new to the rivalry in that game, but what do you know or what have you learned so far about that rivalry game with Iowa?
Yeah, it's really my second game with Iowa, but it feels like it's my third because I took the job on the morning of this game 2 years ago. And we accepted the job and sat down as a family and watched Nebraska, a 3-win Nebraska team, come in and beat Iowa. Trey Palmer had a great day, and so I experienced that last year, a heartbreaking loss to Iowa in a game that went back and forth. And so, but even from the fact that our players, they grow their facial hair out, or a lot of them do that game. I mean, it means something to the guys, and it means something to our fans.
Obviously, it's over Thanksgiving weekend, so give me one thing that you're very thankful for.
I'm very, very thankful for my wife and kids. I'm really thankful for my son Bryant. He's a freshman here at Nebraska. Last year, in order for me to take this job, he lived back in Charlotte and stayed in Charlotte for a year so he could finish his senior year. And I didn't want to leave him. I said, no, that's not fair to you. And he said, you're a coach, and I want you to coach at Nebraska. I'll be fine here. Throughout this process, growing from being, making $1,800 at Albright College to Western Carolina, it's the sacrifices Julie made, but it's also the sacrifices my son made. Moving from Philly to Waco to Charlotte to now Nebraska, and he's been my partner every step along the way. So I'm really thankful for him. I'm thankful that now he's a college student. He gets to be on the sidelines with us, and hopeful that we can celebrate a win together.
What is your favorite Thanksgiving leftover meal?
Oof, that's a great call. I've never been asked that before. So I'm a big green bean casserole fan. So, and I know you're supposed to have turkey, okay? But I also like to have a little ham. We also have some Italian influences in our family. So I absolutely love turkey sandwich on white bread with the leftover turkey with mayonnaise, like a little bit of warmed up ham. I like the green bean salad, and if there's any pasta, I'm gonna eat that too.
Love it.
Pretty healthy.
Yeah, of course. Okay, last one. What is your favorite Thanksgiving tradition?
That's a great question. This sounds so selfish. I love eating and then going in and falling asleep watching the game, and then waking up. I love that. But I also like just the time with family, right? Especially playing a game the next day. Right now, it's actually like the calm before the storm, and that makes it even better.